I'm
my
assuming
God,
you
well,
want
tell
that
me when
back
I'm
on.
live.
Okay, I'm live.
Okay, welcome to Sports Casserole. 1, 2.
Oh,
Nice. I hope
good
those were
crack.
good.
That was the first time I put it next to the microphone.
Nice.
Excellent. Welcome to Sports Casserole. The again, still the worst time possible to start a sports podcast. Not a ton of sports to talk about, so we're just gonna dive right in. I'm Amanda, also known as Michael Bedell. This is Jordan, also known as Jordan, and that's Mick, also known as the Stalkinator sometimes.
In my dreams.
In my dreams.
Okay, so first things first, we're going to roll through Hot Dish. There's not a ton of sports going on right now unless you watched ESPN 8 The Ocho. But one of the main sports topics right now is that the Olympics have officially been delayed. Mick, Jordan, what's your thoughts as athletes, coaches, fans, whoever, on the effects of delaying the Olympics?
I think it's the fact that they finally announced that they're delaying it it's both good and bad for the sports and for the athletes and anyone that's going to be participating, because they don't have to be perpetually preparing
Right.
for the next 6 months, but possibly, and they can start planning on how their training schedule so that they're ending up peaking at the right time.
Right.
But
Right.
it definitely sucks. I know I follow Lola Jones on Instagram, and she's, I think, 38, 39, which as a sprinter is super old.
Yeah,
No offense, Lola, you're still awesome, but you can totally listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What up, Lolo? We're best buddies.
But it's gonna really suck for her because she's gonna be a year older, and not that old people can't be elite athletes.
No, but
Your body just naturally,
there's a drop off, and it happens quick.
Yep.
especially at such an elite level, and in a sport. It's not like a marathon where a small mistake, 1 second, is not going to screw you over in a 26-mile race. As a sprinter, every single tiny mistake, not even mistake, just like you miss the gun by this much of a second,
and it's over.
You're out of the race. You're done.
Which science has proven that as you age, your reaction time slows. So
right,
even just that is going to hurt her, let alone the ability to condition and train. Her body's going to recover slower. I know we're talking a lot about Lolo.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome.
But she's just a good example of all athletes that are maybe at the top of their age range, and this was going to be their last Olympics.
Yeah. I mean, it was going to be hard for her to even make the Olympics, let alone a year from now make the Olympics.
Right. Exactly. Does anybody else find it odd that they're still calling it the 2020 Olympics, even though it'll take place in 2021? Because
I don't find it terribly odd because it was scheduled for 2020.
Right.
And the only other time that something like this has happened is when Olympics have been canceled, and that's only been during war times. So there really is no precedent for.
I just think it's going to get confusing from a historical standpoint.
Well, I think they go down with an asterisk no matter what.
Well, yeah.
Are you going to be confused what year it is next summer? Are you going to be like typing out dates and be like,
I might be.
Or July 5th, 2020. Oh, whoops. 2021. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know, man. I might be. See, here's the thing. I think
they'd have to redo all the logos.
Exactly. I think that's the main point. Is like all of them got together and went, I'm fine pushing this back, but I'm not gonna redo all of our signage. That's excessive.
Well, no, you lose all the traction that you've built as far as publicity and social media, because it's up until this point, it's been 2020 Olympics. So you have to start over. Yeah. No, thank you.
Not that you need to brand the Olympics.
Right.
Right.
Who's not, as a sports fan, who's not watching the Olympics?
Yeah, true. Even as a casual sports fan, because I
Yep.
know plenty of people who are like, I don't enjoy watching sports, but every 2 years, winter and summer, like every 2 years, I just flip on NBC and see
And
what's going on.
chant USA
Yeah.
in a bar. Wow.
Actually, my earliest memory of the Olympics was in sixth grade, my sixth grade science class. It happened to be seventh grade science class. Happened to be during the Winter Olympics, and it happened to be the time that science class was when the U.S. curling team was playing every day. So during that period for 2 weeks, every day we watched the U.S. curling team, and that's when I
Awesome.
became addicted to curling.
And your science teacher was like,
Curling's
hey
fun.
guys, we're going to learn about friction today. 30 minutes, no lesson planning.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Fiction and physics.
Yep. Exactly.
Physics. We were like, this is biology.
I was like, shut up and watch TV, Timmy. Went on a bender last night.
I am far too hungover.
So hungover. Yeah, no, I think it was the right move personally.
Yeah.
I think canceling it, as much as postponing is not ideal, of course, I think postponing it is your best option, because if you cancel, then you've really fucked over the Lolo Jones of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way she can come back in 4 years. Maybe she can. She's
she might be.
superhuman. Who knows?
And you also fucked over Tokyo too.
Well, unless you gave them 2024.
But 2024 is all
right, and then bumped
given out. Yeah.
Right, and you could continue to bump backwards because they only announce every 2.
Yeah, it's 8 years out.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, even if the older athletes are still able to compete at the level that they are right now in 4 years, there's 4 years of younger generation.
People aging in.
Yeah. Well, that's something that I think the U.S. committee talked about all the people that currently are qualified for it will automatically be qualified for the Olympics still. Like they aren't going to hold any of the trials over from how I understood it.
Which is fair. You had your shot.
Yeah. Agreed. Because it would have sucked to have qualified for an Olympics, have it postponed, and then
have to re-qualify and possibly miss your shot.
Right.
Especially if you were on the edge.
Because you're an Olympian, and that shouldn't get taken because of a pandemic.
Right.
I don't like it.
Why?
Only because I don't like losing. And if we send people that aren't good enough to win, and we lose because of it, I'm gonna be mad.
But they're clearly good enough to win a trial. Yeah. They just have to continue training.
I might sound like a dick, but I don't. If China, China's not going to do it. China's
hell no, yeah.
Stuck. Go home. I mean, that was really.
China's
not going to do that.
Stable of athletes that they just keep placing there, like China's gymnastics team. That's 14, but they say is 16.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That was last summer, right? The last Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
It was either the last one or the one before. Yeah, because isn't the minimum age is 16?
I don't know.
I think so. I'm not positive. I should know these things, but I don't.
Oh well.
Because I was never good enough.
All I want. Oh my god, podcast. That's probably my ultimate sports dream.
To go to the Olympics?
Oh hell yeah!
You just want to go for all the sex that's rampant.
No. But I do know that they transfer. Yeah, they do. They hand out condoms, but they transfer STDs like nobody's.
Oh yeah.
No, my ultimate goal would be to be an Olympian. I know that's not possible, but
you maybe do it
in what?
He's Skijoring is a.
Oh, what
is
about what's the one
that
where
the,
they ski and
shooting
no
one?
the
That's ski drawing.
is the shooting one? I
Is
thought
it?
ski drawing was with dogs.
No,
Huh. Well,
maybe.
yeah,
Hold on. Let's Google.
No,
I'm like, I swear ski
isn't
drawing
the
is with
ski
dogs.
and I'm shooting like called a decathlon or something.
Oh, there's that.
Although that
and
could have, I don't think it's a decathlon.
No.
you're right. Ski drawings with dogs
Yes.
and or horses
What's this?
Horses?
and or horses apparently.
Well, you for ski
Terrifying.
drawing with dogs, you hook your like waist belt to the dog in front of you, and you're basically a
And you
sled.
hook it to the horse?
So how
Oh,
do you do it
fuck
with a
that.
horse?
That's terrifying.
It's biathlon. Is the one where you ski and
Biathlon.
shoot.
Yeah, maybe. I'd have to be a way
Wasn't,
better skier.
And shooter.
I'm a pretty good shooter.
Those
Yeah,
guys are
they're
elite.
Sorry, what was that, Nick?
Kendall, not I forget what her name is now, but she used to be Bruce Jenner. Wasn't she a biathlon Olympian?
No, she was
decathlon.
decathlon.
That's
The
it.
other thing I said.
Yeah,
The other
no,
one.
she was decathlon,
The
which is
summer one.
Summer Olympics.
Yeah,
Yep.
the summer thing with 10 events,
Yeah,
right?
like
I
Deca.
wonder if she's the only gold medal winning female or male. I'm
Like-
always like,
If she's the only person who won as like in one, well,
Yeah.
male or female, and then transitioned
Transitioned.
after winning
Yeah.
to, you know, an opposite sex.
I'm sure.
I don't know, maybe.
I feel like we would have heard about it.
Well, I mean,
God,
it's,
I mean,
no,
they're
yeah,
American.
Yeah.
but I mean, Caitlyn Jenner just became, I mean, when she won the decathlon, she was like everyone in America
She was
knew
a
her.
celebrity.
Like Wheaties box, the whole
Mhm.
thing. So that's probably part of why we know her story, because she
Mhm.
became big.
Well, and
She's
then
an
married.
American hero
Yeah.
at that point. Yeah.
Yep, and then she married
The Kardashian
the
woman.
Kardashian woman, and then that's all people remember her for.
I know, which is
A
like,
shame.
oh my God,
She
an
was an
incredible athlete.
But you were married to that girl that lady that has crazy daughters.
Horrible children, and whose ex-husband didn't they get famous because her ex-husband got OJ off?
Yep.
Well, helped get OJ off.
He was one of the lawyers.
Oh.
Johnny Cochran?
I don't fucking know.
No? I
That
don't know.
sounds right.
Feels like his last name would be Kardashian, doesn't it?
I don't know. Anyway,
No, Johnny Cochran was one of the other lawyers,
yeah,
but it
I
was
think so. It was Cochran and then the Kardashian.
Yeah,
I don't know. We got to watch an OJ bio.
Yeah, sure.
I just watched one like 2 years ago, and I can't remember.
Which one?
Well, I mean,
Was it on Netflix?
not that we don't have time right now. Fuck it. We can watch all the bios we want. I can watch 4 OJ bios.
Yeah, but you got to watch the Tiger King.
We are. We will be tomorrow. That is our
Is
plan
good.
to just binge all of it.
It is good. It is sad. It's sad for animals and for humans, really.
I love tigers, though.
You'll be all right. Anyway,
I might cry. Same,
probably.
same rules apply. Only cry at
But then
sports and dog movies.
Right.
But then you'll laugh like 2 seconds later because of how dumb he is.
Can
I can roll with
handle
that.
behavior.
Can't handle behavior. Shout out Small Town Murder. Oh, side note, I do have to give credit to the person who wrote and created our intro music. Our intro music is Hot Shot by Scott Holmes. You can find it on its public domain. But I thought it was pretty fun. So thanks, Scott Holmes. That's it.
Cool. Next topic of the hot dish.
So NFL draft plans. Yeah. Since the NFL can't host what would traditionally be the draft mania, like
Party.
yeah, I mean the live draft.
Mhm. It's a party now. They have
Right. I mean, it's a
And
week
it was
long.
going to be in Vegas. So.
which would have been nuts.
So cool. Yeah, so what do we think is going to What do we think they should do? And then I also want to know, like, what do you guys think is going to be the funniest thing to come of that?
I want them to do like a Google Hangouts for all 32 teams. Like the 32 teams aren't allowed. Somehow they'd have to make it so the 32 teams aren't allowed to watch each other.
Okay.
Like they can actually do that. But that way we can see, like maybe just delay it like 5 minutes or so. Because, I mean, we don't see the actual pick for 5 or 10 minutes after they make it. So, like, delay the feed 5-10 minutes. But I want to see every front office negotiating with everyone. I want to see it all.
You want
so you want more insight, essentially.
I want all of it.
Scenes shit.
Like what the XFL did with like the play calling on the sidelines. I want that for the NFL draft.
See if the XFL still has their helmets and everybody can just put on some of the helmets. And if they got you remember the mask that, like the eye mask that LT used to wear? They could get that for mouths so that nobody actually like breathes or coughs on each other. And that's how they communicate this.
But the thing I worry about then is Bill O'Brien is probably going to be sitting at home by himself drinking a beer in his underwear.
It's true.
He's on beer 7 by the time his first pick rolls up.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have any firsts or seconds, so
he's got the 6-pack holder out. He's like holding on to the 6-pack rings on his couch. 4 beers, just beers on it still.
Fuck it. Did you guys know I'm kind of short on receiver these days? I was pretty fucked up when I did that, so let's grab a receiver.
Speaking of helmets, he probably, those helmets that have the beer up top and then a straw down. That's what Bill O'Brien's going to be wearing during the draft. He's going to be yelling to someone off screen, "Go get the facts!"
Even though he is both the GM and head coach, and it's only him.
I guarantee his dog's going to be like, "You go get the facts, bitch." He's like, "Buster!
You can talk!"
Oh my God. Okay, so if he's going to be getting drunk in his underwear, do we think he's a boxers or briefs guy?
Oh, he's totally a briefs guy.
Briefs.
You can't make that dumb of decisions.
He's 100% a briefs guy.
I don't know. He seems
definitely
like
Tidy Whities.
No, Tidy Whities. It feels like he would be a dark underwear guy because Tidy Whities get dirty, and like then people can know.
Who's gonna know? His wife? Like who's seeing his underwear?
Well, he's gonna go fucking, I guess, on national TV in his underwear.
Yeah, but that's just because of how dumb he is.
I think he's very like chill and go with the flow to the point that he shouldn't be, obviously, because he gives away fucking Hawkins. Yeah, well, I'm saying he like has some monster boxers on where you're like,
hey, I thought you were gonna say something else.
Ew, gross. Monster. No, but like maybe they're hanging out of his boxers where you're like, oh no, put it back.
Well, I mean, how far away is the camera that we can see all that?
If we can see his underwear and he's sitting on the couch.
Yeah, it's true. So anyway, off of
Bill O'Brien's ball sack.
What do you think?
That's what Amanda wants to see.
I didn't realize that you had read my diary, and that's hurtful. Okay.
That is private.
I shared that with you in confidence.
All right, Jordan, what do you want to see?
I want to see that behind the scenes stuff too, but I also want a GM to be sitting there on his laptop and have his pick come up and then have his internet cut out and then just to like watch him panic as the clock kicks down and the NFL is just like sitting there going like, come on, Giants, God, you have 10 seconds. And he's sitting there like, what the fuck? I think that'd be really funny. And it would definitely happen to the Giants too.
Yeah.
So are you expecting it to be like a fantasy draft where they're like picking online and not like like physically calling Goodell and being like, we're picking XX player from
I
X
want all of it
But if
online.
If they were on like that big Google chat that you were talking about, Mick,
Yeah.
You could mute all 31 other teams, and then the one team that's picking can be the one to say like, "Hey, Goodell, I want this one." But what if
that one?
But what if, like often happens in video conferencing, what if it froze? So like, and with the 36th pick in the
who is it?
They definitely said a name.
You got to think that that all 32, well, maybe not all 32 teams, but most of the 32 teams have like the fastest internet possible. Maybe not the Broncos because they forgot the facts, but
it's true.
No, they just missed the deadline.
They'd be the only team still sending it by fax.
Say we missed the deadline now. Oh my God, what if they were on
Broncos
dial-up?
pick is
Get off the phone!
You can't make a call right now.
Billy!
I'm building our quarterback stable. He's tall as fuck.
His hands and his forehead are huge.
Hey, that's a different show.
Oh yeah, we haven't
Can't get into the forehead yet.
Oh, fix it in post. Oh my God. Well, at least we haven't talked about shit yet.
Well, now you broke the seal.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I understand that the NFL has way too much money and power to have anything bad happen during it, but I just want something to happen. Like I want someone's
Not like
internet.
a catastrophe,
No.
like a funny oops.
Yeah, like I want someone's internet to cut out. I want someone's phone line to get cut. Like
someone gets a Tanya Harding right in the kneecap.
Whoa.
Just simple stuff.
I want like some kind of conspiracy where the Saints get all pissed off that the Panthers hired somebody to come cut their phones.
Speaking of hardline phones, I want each team, like there has to be, like the bat phone or like the red president.
So you like want a giant, not giant, but like in each
comically large telephone.
I want each team, like your official call into Goodell has to be from like this phone, right? I want that
like
phone
in the middle underneath glass or something.
No, I want it to be the hamburger phone.
Yeah.
Because fuck it. And then McDonald's could sponsor or something. I don't know.
Nice.
Like it'd be so funny to be like, okay, are we sure? Okay, let's call him. Beep. Flip open a hamburger phone. That's what I want. I want the hamburger phone. Maybe Burger King could finally get back in the game. They can sponsor the draft and be like, it's a Whopper phone. We have a Whopper of a pick.
So it'll still taste like garbage.
Yeah, when you open it, it's going to smell like BO and rotting onions.
But the fries will be so good.
True.
Yeah, it's like they're double battered or something. Don't hate it.
So, in all seriousness, though, what do you think they'll actually do? Like, is it just going to be Goodell in a room being like, "What's up, dudes?"
I think it's going to be the same. Sorry. I think it's going to be, as far as Goodell, I bet that part is a very similar setup in that he'll have a podium. There'll be like the lights and the sound effects to give it like the drama.
They're just going to make it like television show as opposed to a live event.
Yeah.
So it'll probably end up being like the third day of the draft normally is.
Yeah.
Just without a crowd in the wherever Goodell is going to the podium and being like, "Hey, I'm white and rich."
The NFL headquarters now, like not even doing it in Vegas.
No, I would assume they're staying at NFL headquarters.
Why spend the money if you don't have a crowd showing up?
No.
Do you think then? Oh, I lost my train of thought.
That makes for good radio.
Well,
Oh,
info
do you
desk.
think you said it was fixed in post? You said they were gonna make it like a TV show.
Mhm.
Do you think they do it like The Bachelor, where like somebody texts a rose emoji
Accepting-
to like
They have to
They
call
said-
every pick and be like, "Hey,
will you
will
accept-"
you accept this?"
Yeah, and then in order to
What
accept,
happens when Joe Burrow says no?
He
what if they like text
Doesn't
him a
have a
rose
choice.
and he sends back like,
Nah.
I'm out.
I
XFL faux life. Barb is
XFL.
crazy.
It's a poor decision. It's a poor life decision.
If on draft night Joe Burrow turns down the Bengals and goes, "That's right, I'm signing with the Tampa Bay Vipers," it would be the
I'm taking my talents to
insane
South
thing.
Beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I think it'll be pretty much the same as what the third day of the draft is.
Yeah.
I mean, because none of the players are actually there for the third. Really, none of the players are there for the second day of the draft either. So,
Do you think the players are going to pull like what Brett Favre did, where, like the classic Brett Favre, where there's like 10 people there? Or is it going to be them and,
I
like
think it
their two buddies and their dog?
it
depends.
depends on the person. I mean, Joe Thomas got taken, I think, first overall, and he was on a fishing boat.
Had a kid. All right. So then how do you think teams are going to communicate? Like, do you think they're going to, as they traditionally do, have everybody in that one room? Or are they
They'll probably respect the 10-person limit. I mean, really, how many people do you need in a room to make a decision? I mean, they have all the information. They have all the scouting reports and everything. I mean, it'll probably be the head coach, the GM, 3 or 4 scouts, and then the positional coaches.
Yeah, like
That's 10-ish, yeah. Okay. And they just all get together in the office or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's going to be more or less the same.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably have more
I agree.
people normally, but
Yeah. It's your like whole organization, but now it's probably just going to be the
we'll probably never get to see.
front office, like
Yeah.
head coach, GM,
Fair enough.
maybe the owner, and depending on who it is.
Yeah,
Like-
Jerry
I'm
better
totally-
stay out.
I'm
He's
totally
out.
going to be in there.
If you're Jerry Jones, you're going to be around a bunch of people who.
He's also the GM though.
Yeah, he has to be there.
Oh,
He's
true.
GM.
I was like,
Do you think he's going to wear a mask? Like he should, because he's again 1,000 years old.
He's
and
not that old.
He's old. If you've seen him,
he also has the money. He'll be fine.
It's true. Money cures everything.
Mhm.
Usually,
He won't be susceptible to a respirator shortage.
nope. He'll find one.
Fair enough. Okay. Any other thoughts on the NFL draft?
I'm super pumped, and I mean, the NFL is probably going to have its best ratings ever for the NFL
Probably
draft.
it's
Yeah.
the only sport.
There's literally nothing else going on, so
Yeah, they're the only thing that's actually having meaningful content
Yeah.
right now.
yeah. I mean, they could have very easily postponed it or canceled it. I mean, not canceled it, but postponed it because there's quite a few college teams that haven't had their pro days yet, which
Right.
is actually a thing that matters, especially for the smaller schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most of those kids don't get invited to the combine, so they don't get to do medicals and get actual heights and weights, which I know we debated this last a couple episodes ago. Getting actual heights and weights matters because colleges
Lie.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I did see somebody had, I'm sure more than one, but a couple people have been calling for juniors who already declared being able to revoke that decision because they won't get like pro days and those kind of things now.
Mhm.
So they could revoke that decision and come back and play a senior year so that they have that opportunity again. I think that's a good move. but the NCAA hasn't made it.
I think it would depend on who you are.
Yeah,
Obviously, if you're like
calling for the option.
Yeah. Obviously, if you're like DeAndre Swift, or Jonathan Taylor, I wouldn't, because one, you're a running back, come out as fast as you can, especially when you're gonna be the first running back taken in the class.
We just talked about Marcus Lattimore.
Yep. Stop having carries when you're not being paid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're like a guy that might be like if the NFL draft committee told you that they project you to be taken on day 5 or 6, or not day 5 or 6, but round 5 or 6.
Day 5 or 6.
You're going to be sitting next to your phone for 5 days.
It ended 2 days ago, and you finally got a call.
Well, I mean, there are guys like that.
Well, that's called an
you didn't get drafted
then.
No, but I would still, if it was me personally, I'd be like, yes, coach, I'll be there in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've actually been sitting outside the gates. If you can just tell Billy that I'm supposed to be here and to unlock it, I'll see you right there.
No, I'm here already. Like, I haven't been stalking you or anything, but I know where you live and what you eat.
But hey, turn around. It's me.
I also figured out the key code. What's up?
All right, now we're starting to sound like Rudy.
Which, if
Rudy
you
Rudiger.
missed last episode, we all hate
Sucks.
that movie.
It's a stupid movie. It's not a stupid movie. The character of Rudy.
No, the movie is stupid. The story is stupid. The story's great. Movie stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway.
Okay. So moving on, as of what?
Yesterday, opening day.
Yesterday was supposed to be opening day. I think as a semi-casual baseball fan, like, I wouldn't say I'm a fanatic, but big baseball fan. It's obviously a time that a lot of sports fans look forward to. And for me, it always marks the start of summer. Like, opening day means it is finally summertime, baseball season, hot dogs, grilling, all the fun stuff.
Cold beer.
Yeah, cold beer and baseball. So opening day, of course, didn't happen. And so instead, a lot of people are sharing their favorite baseball memories, which I love. I'm probably going to start with Jordan. You want to give me your favorite all-time baseball memory?
My favorite all-time baseball memory. This isn't easy for me. When I was 11, we took a family vacation with my extended family, and we were driving to Florida. And on the way there, my dad is a huge Cardinals fan, and the Cardinals happened to be in town during that time. So on the way there, we stopped in St. Louis, and all of us went to a Cardinals game. And this was at the old Cardinal Stadium. So this was in the old Coliseum, which was in downtown, and it was a cool stadium because it's just a huge circle, and it was loud as hell, and it was super fun. And the game was against the Padres, and it went into the 11th inning. So it was my first extra inning
free baseball
game. Yeah. So it was just super fun, and we had cheap seats in the upper deck, and it was the bottom of the 11th inning, and Albert Pujols came up, and this was peak Albert Pujols. It was him just starting off being great, and I got to see his first career walk-off homer, and it was insane. He came up, he smashed that ball, and the stadium went nuts. Like, I felt like the upper deck was going to fall off. It was insane, and it was just super fun, and it was just a really good family memory. and it was a baseball. So
Yeah.
That'd be a sweet game to be at.
it was crazy. Like I remember it going over the fence, all of the fireworks going off, and just it being just crazy. Everybody screaming.
To this day, the only fault I have found in your dad is that he's a Cardinals fan.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I don't like about him.
Yeah.
He's a genuinely good man, but goddamn, it's choice of baseball teams.
Quick question. Is the Coliseum as shitty as the old Ram Stadium?
I thought it was actually super fun. I had a
You were
very
what,
good
11?
time, but I was also 11, and I think we were there like the year before it got torn down, because it got torn down and their current stadium got built on the same spot.
Well, that's a nice area of town.
Yeah, it's like right downtown.
Yeah, and it's like what, 4 or 5 blocks from the Arch.
Yep.
That'd be. I mean, that's a neat area of town for St. Louis.
Yeah, so it was just fun, and it was, really awesome memory.
There you go. Family baseball. Mick, favorite baseball memory ever?
I have a lot.
Good start.
All of them.
Way to narrow it down.
Picking a favorite is kind of hard.
Fair.
I'll go with my most memorable, which is also kind of my least memorable.
Okay.
Oh,
In that I don't remember much of it.
I remember this. I know this one.
So
Tell it.
So I worked for a company. I basically own my own company. And one of the things, it was a painting company called College Pro Painters. And basically you owned your own franchise, got to sell, market yourself, and then paint houses. And one of the things that they did every year, because the headquarters was based in Chicago, every year, whoever had the most, I think it was the top like 25 or 30 for the region, the most sales up to the point of, I think, May 15th or 16th, something like that, got to go to a Cubs game. And because it's college pro, there's a lot of drinking involved.
Because it's all college kids.
Yeah. And I had just turned 21. Had I just turned 21?
You had to have, because
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
that summer.
that summer.
Yeah. So I just turned 21 like 3 months prior. So I don't remember who they were playing. I don't remember if they won the game. I don't remember anything really.
You sat on a rooftop though, right?
Yeah, we were on a rooftop. We weren't actually in the stadium. We were on a rooftop across the street, just behind the left outfield, which is a great place to watch the game from.
Arguably one of the cooler things about Wrigley Field is that you can see games from not inside the field.
Well, everything about Wrigley Field is awesome. Wrigley is
the pinnacle.
Even if you're not in the stadium or able to watch the game from a rooftop, just being in Wrigleyville is awesome. Yeah. So anyway, watch the game. Don't remember after. I remember up to like the 5th inning. After that, I don't remember much. Ended up in a cab with 3 other guys, and we went back to our hotel, which I hadn't even been to at this point.
Atta boy.
They set us up at a hotel, and me and a guy that I drove with from somewhere in Iowa, we didn't make it until right before the game, so we didn't have time to stop at the hotel. So then I was like, I don't know where the hotel's at, and they were all like, I don't remember the name. So then we sat in the cab for at least 15 minutes trying to figure out the hotel name. And then we all
like, I'm gonna stab you.
I hate all of you.
All fell asleep in the cab. Because the game was a night game. And I think it went into extra innings. I don't remember. But we shut all the bars down, and it took us a while to decide that we needed to take a cab. So anyway, we fell asleep in a cab. Cab ride ended up being $400.
Yep. And then that next
100
morning,
apiece.
Jordan and I got a text from somebody who had your phone, like somebody who was half sober, had your phone and took a picture of you passed out
hallway.
face down in the hallway of your hotel.
Yeah.
You didn't even.
And you just
get
text me, you were like,
in.
had a great time at Wrigley.
No, because the guy that was, I think there were two other guys I was sharing a room with. They both, didn't get blackout drunk.
Only you did.
No. It was like me and 5 other guys that got blackout drunk.
Just not including your roommates.
Yeah. So I didn't feel like being a dick and knocking on the door, apparently. I don't remember this part.
So instead, you just completely.
Sounds right.
I just love that it was face down. I'm pretty sure I still have that picture.
Well, I mean, that's how I pass out. I mean, you remember Tom's futon that I broke, so.
You ruined it.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't ruin it. He just happened to crack the frame.
It was cheap and from IKEA.
And also, you spit chewed up pretzel chips into my hand that night.
It was too dry, just like bread.
But then you kept
A
eating.
loaf of bread. All right. Those are college stories and
Yeah.
for a different podcast.
Yeah, that's for reasons my parents are ashamed of me.
Reasons my parents are currently finding out that they're ashamed
My
of
parents
me.
definitely knew. I don't think your
I
parents
don't
did.
think mine do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, what up? Solid memory. And was that your first time at Wrigley?
Yep.
That's awesome. Because you'd been a Cubs fan since you were a kid, right?
I'd seen them at in the Metrodome plenty of
mhm.
times, but I'd never been to Wrigley, so.
That's awesome. What a way to do it too, just turning 21.
Yeah. I wish I
Okay.
could remember the game, but
Maybe I'll go back and I'll look at the timestamp on that picture that you sent and we'll figure out what game it was.
I don't think they won, though.
I mean, it would have been 2014. So
Earlier, it probably would have been like 2013 or
no, it was 14 because if he had just been 21, it was the year we got married.
You guys had just moved away and left me alone.
20. If he had just turned 21,
I was 22 then.
yeah, I was like, if he had just turned
yeah,
21, it was
you're right.
2013. He's the same age as us.
Yeah, I'm not younger than you. I wish I was.
Oh, right, because I turned 21, or I turned 22 that August. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Math is hard. I'm half tempted for my favorite baseball memory to be my first time at Wrigley. I'm super lucky to have a ton of really great baseball memories. I've gotten to intern in minor league baseball. I've gotten to see, I think, 5 stadiums now. I'm working on crossing more off. But yeah, I mean, first time at Wrigley was incredible. It was my first live MLB game I had ever seen. My aunt lived in Chicago at the time, so took me down to Wrigleyville. We all, it was hotter than shit, and the Cubs sucked that year. I mean, I was 12, so they were bad. This was like right before they brought on Carlos Zambrano. So in the bad years. Yeah, and I had watched the Cubs on WGN growing up for like all the time after school. And so then I got to go to a game with my aunt and my grandpa and my mom and my sister, and it was awesome. It was probably one of the 3 times the Cubs won that year. Derek Lee, I was a first baseman in softball, and Derek Lee hit 2 home runs and was the coolest first baseman I had ever seen. So he was my new hero, and I was like, I'm for sure a Cubs fan. And then they continued to suck. So I'm still for sure a Cubs fan, but that's probably my favorite baseball memory. But I love baseball season. I mean, we've seen baseball.
Mhm.
We've seen college baseball in Alaska.
Mhm.
I'll watch any baseball that's above high school level.
I agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, even high school, if it's
good.
Legion ball.
No, Legion
I
ball is
like
only a thing in South Dakota.
Legion ball. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
it's only
not
in
a thing
South
outside of South Dakota.
Oh shit! All right.
Outside of South Dakota, most high schools have teams.
I didn't realize that South Dakota didn't have teams. Like Legion was the team.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
is the team.
That's insane. No,
It's
no other state does that.
Post
22?
22.
Is that the best one?
Yeah.
No, it's not. False statement.
What was yours, Mick?
32.
32. All right. Well,
To be clear, I did not play on post.
Yeah, and Mick
22.
didn't play on 32, did you?
No.
Okay, yeah, I
I
was
was
like,
playing baseball and like
I stopped playing baseball
middle school.
early, and I broke my dad's heart.
Yeah, your dad didn't get a baseball player,
Nope.
but he got a softball player, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. Okay, cool. That went down on a tangent. Next up, ooh, you gonna bring me more?
What you want?
Beer.
I can't have. I can't have beer. I want beer.
What?
Why
I
can't
want-
you have beer?
I want the blue one.
Fix it in post.
Fix it.
Why can't you have beer?
Because I'm gluten free and it sucks. But Jordan got me a 4-pack of Pounders of gluten free beer.
They make gluten-free beer.
Blue.
Since when are you gluten-free? Wasn't Jordan gluten-free for a little while?
No, I was gluten free when I came to see you guys.
Wasn't Jordan trying to be gluten-free for a little while? Didn't
No.
look at that thing?
No, I tried to convince him and he said no.
What?
Thank you. He thought you were gluten free for a while.
No.
Look, this has boobs.
It does have boobs. They're not very good boobs, but they're boobs.
Dick's Last Resort has boobers.
Dick's last resort is boobs, so his first resort is butthole.
Vagina, of course.
Yeah.
No.
Those aren't
Anatomically,
options.
you would start. So this is boobs.
At the asshole?
Yes, and if his last resort is boobs,
No.
anatomically, vagina is here, butthole's here, boobs are here.
Yeah, you would,
Anatomically, working your way from this way up.
All right.
or
we need to
maybe
stop.
he hates holes. So like he started with the mouth and he was like, oh, this sucks. Went to boobs and he was like, let's just end it there. I like these.
Anyway,
What man would say, "Oh, I start with the mouth. This sucks"?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't like oral. I don't.
that's
maybe they sucked at
really
stuff.
serious, guys.
Oh, we're fixing all this in post. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Okay,
Somebody
good.
who's
Jesus,
asexual,
guys.
perhaps. That could be a thing.
That's fair. All
Or
right.
asexual.
Or pansexual.
Yeah, but wouldn't they still like mouth
they would
stuff?
still like
That's true.
roll. Anyway,
Fix it in post.
but fix it in post.
Okay, for this week's movie review, we are gonna review Glory Road.
Because it's supposed to be March of Madness,
It should be March Madness.
and it's not.
I'm devastated. It's
I'm
my
also sad.
favorite time of the year. I actually know someone who was scheduled for a vasectomy during this time because it's March Madness,
no. So he
and
could've
he
just
was
sat
gonna
there.
have a long weekend and watch the games.
And,
So instead, he got a sportsless vasectomy.
that blows. I'd be
Ooh.
pissed.
And his family's home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be the worst.
I love my kids, but when I get my vasectomy, I want my kids to be nowhere near me.
Don't
Huh?
worry. I brought
Honey,
you into
I'm
this
going
world.
on vacation. I'll be back in
Is it
4
called
days.
a vascation?
Nice.
One, I don't like. When my kids are crying or doing stuff that's naughty, I feel the need to get up and stop it.
Right.
And two, if my kids come near me, they jump on me and hit me. And like
Yep.
Peyton one time bit me in the no-no zone.
I love Peyton.
I mean, my kids, my 3-year-old says penis and vagina and says Peyton has a penis. I'm not like, don't say penis and stuff.
Right.
Right.
No.
I just
Like that.
when my son bit me there, it's the no-no zone. He didn't bit me in my penis. He bit me in my vagina. He bit me in my no-no zone.
Bit you square in the vagina. He had to go deep for that one, but he got you.
It's inside me.
Oh, we have so much to fix him. I'm just gonna cut this whole section.
That's in.
We're not saying.
That's funny.
We're not. You.
Fine.
What if his
Fix it
kid
in
listens
post.
to this one time?
Fix it in
One
post.
time.
But it is really
It's gonna
funny.
be like, my dad thought he had a vagina. He definitely did not.
Thanks, Mom.
Uncle Jordan saw it.
Is Daddy an idiot?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yes,
But
he is. I don't know why I married him.
But he's our idiot, and we love him. And he's good at fixing things.
That's about the only reason. And I can cook. That's about it.
That's
You're
true.
a good cook. You are.
I don't know if I'm good. I can make the food.
All of us have eaten your food. You're a good cook. I mean,
All right.
I'm not going to compare you to Bobby Flay. Don't get out of
Well,
here.
I am Bobby Flay.
No, that's
That's what Bobby Flay
bad.
does.
No, he
This-
throws his pepper shaker. He goes and drops it like a mic.
He also puts ancho chilies in everything.
He does.
That's because he's Flay.
Burr. I don't know.
All right, let's
Anyway,
get fucking
yep.
Bob on track.
And cook, I'd want to be Alton Brown.
Ooh, he's cool. Who would you want to be?
Who do you think?
Jeezy.
Jeezy.
Jordan wants to be Jeffrey Zakarian.
Jeffrey's
Oh,
Zakarian.
all right. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's awesome. And
Actually, if I was being honest with myself, I'm probably Scott Conant.
I
yeah,
love Scott Conant. I fucking love Scott Conant. I would want to be Alex Cornishelli because she's a badass.
mhm.
Ooh, but Stephanie Izard has the coolest hair,
Also true.
and she's from Chicago. So
Yeah, but you're probably the other host that frequents Chopped, or
Man,
not host, but yeah, you're, that's. I see. That's
You
who I would compare.
Like chocolate a lot.
and my name is Amanda.
I mean, that's just a coincidence.
Coincidence.
Oh, coinky dink. All right, before we fix all this in post, nudge the dog so she stops snoring, and then let's go back to.
All right.
Stop.
Please stop.
I love you.
Okay, so we started with Glory Road.
Yes.
Glory
Okay,
Road.
So for this week's movie review, we are going to do Glory Road because it's supposed to be March Madness, and this March has been mad,
Ness.
but there's no basketball. And also Amanda's sadness.
I am also sad.
So what we're going to do, we're going to review Glory Road. Short descriptor, Glory Road is based on a true story of the coach at what,
Texas Western, which
Thank
is now the University of Texas El Paso.
Okay.
UTEP.
Oh, UTEP. Okay. So yeah, true story of. Are you trying to spell out? So Mick
Yes, he is.
Do you even know the sign language letters?
No, I was literally just making the letters with my fingers.
Yep.
UTEP. Yeah.
Okay. Again.
Anyway.
Famously an audio medium, things you guys made fun of for me last night.
Oh, I wasn't. That wasn't supposed to be part of the
An
show.
audio medium.
That's for the show.
Anyway.
It's a finger.
Good one.
mean-
No, I was giving you the thumbs up. Okay.
Friends.
We're the three best friends that anyone could have.
All right, back to Glory Road.
Road.
Fucking Glory Road, guys. Here's the fun fact. I'm still sober. Like,
Yes, same.
still
We
sober.
all are.
I know.
This is just us.
God damn it. Okay. Glory Road is a movie about
Texas
the real life
Western.
story of the coach at Texas Western, which is now University of Texas El Paso.
UTEP.
UTEP.
They are still the minors, though.
Oh, okay. So they're still the minors.
Mhm.
Short story. Yeah, he was the first. They were the first team to ever play an all black starting lineup, and the first team to ever play a full game with only black players. So yeah, I mean, you can kind of guess where this goes. Deep South segregation.
This was in the, what, 60s?
I thought it was late 50s, early 60s. Yeah.
Either way,
It's
not
a
a great time.
period of, yeah.
Yeah. What should be deep shame for most people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut that out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to shame our white audience.
No, it's a time of deep shame for the country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, That's it.
As
And
a whole.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
hatred. Like that's the truth. And so this coach, Don Haskins, am I right there?
Yep.
Yeah, Don Haskins. Just simply, he didn't have a recruiting budget, as most Texas schools. UTEP was focused on their money going to the football program because that's what was important in Texas and still is.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't have a recruiting budget. So he just went and tried to find the best players for the budget he had. And there happened to be a ton of really talented Black athletes who weren't getting recruited because
Racism.
Yeah, racism. Yeah. So I love the movie. I'm gonna have Jordan. No, Jordan started last time. Mick, you're gonna give your review first. Each person gets approximately 1 minute. Go, Mick.
All right. So first of all, full disclosure. As soon as anytime I watch this movie, as soon as I see Bobby Joe, who's played by the same character that plays Bowie Miles in Friday Night Lights,
Yep.
I immediately start wondering, why am I not watching Friday Night Lights? because I'm very biased towards football movies. That's not to say that Glory Road's not a great movie.
Bobby Joe Hill was a cool person, athlete, character.
Bobby Joe is the shit.
Yeah.
But I think this movie it's a great movie. There's a lot of actual basketball content. Which is, I love that in a sports movie. If you're gonna call yourself a sports movie, show me the sport you're supposed to be about. So yeah, I like it a lot. I like that I don't know how close it is tied to the actual story, but I like that Haskins, after they were getting their butts kicked because they were playing the game that he wanted them to play, I like that he was like, all right, guys, Bobby Joe, you guys can play the game you guys want to play. And then they just started killing everyone because, they were really good at basketball and they were much better athletes.
They were very good athletes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that may or may not have been because of the skin color. Or not because of the skin color, but it definitely opened up the eyes of the country to the fact that the Black athletes were just as good, if not better, than most of the white athletes.
Right. I mean, they were athletes. They were incredible athletes who, if their skin color hadn't been different, would have been starting at Kentucky to question full scholarship.
Yeah, totally. And I really like the movie. I don't have as much to say about it as Rudy because there's nothing I can say about it that's bad.
Because you liked it.
Because I like it. My only qualm is that it's about basketball and not football.
Bowie Miles plays football.
Bowie Miles plays football because if you want to win, put Bowie in.
Put Bowie in.
Yeah, I'd give it like 7 out of 10, which feels very weird because Jordan gave Rudy a 7 out of 10. So I feel like the bar for that is set really low. But yeah, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, solid.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'll go. I love Glory Road. I'm a huge basketball fan. Basketball is probably my first and true love. Huge basketball family, played for as long as I can remember. I think this is an incredible movie based on an awesome true story that, in the same way that Remember the Titans kind of was the first introduction for a lot of people maybe our age to the realities of segregation. I think this does a good job of showing some of the hate that a lot of Black Americans faced this was less than 100 years ago. This was 70 years ago, 50 years ago. These things were happening. Like, people were getting mugged in bathrooms and really terrible words were being used. So I think that is great. My one thing that I have questions about is they portray Coach Rupp from Kentucky, obviously one of the best Kentucky basketball coaches of all time. Rob Arena is named after him. They portray him as like super racist and ugly. And I don't know if that's the truth. Maybe it is. So I have questions about that. And then, yeah, just as a side note, my mom, we play a lot of basketball with each other in the family. So my mom often kicks the shit out of me and then says, foul. My 3-year-old calls that a love tap. So, I have experience in that realm, I guess. She just shoves the ever loving. And my mom is 6 foot tall. So like she pones me. Yeah. I'm going to give it an 8. It's a basketball movie. I really love it. I think it's funny and smart and an awesome movie. 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Cool. I also love this movie. I think it's a very good look into a unlikely champion, which is always fun. It's always fun to see a movie about a team that shouldn't win and then does, because it's always endearing and shows that anybody can accomplish things, and it's just very well done. I think it's a really interesting look into how that era was formed and how things like sports can have an impact on our actual society. Because I think that is a big thing that happened then. Sports opened a lot of doors for those athletes that they wouldn't have otherwise had. Because a lot of those players on that team probably wouldn't have gotten to go to college in that time period if they weren't good at basketball. So I just think it's a really cool story. It's very well done, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun basketball movie. So I'm also going to give it an 8.
All right.
I can get behind that. I thought about giving it an 8, but because they used Boobie Miles as not Boobie Miles.
Boobie Miles plays football, and that's it. So make us a 7. Jordan and I both give it an 8. That brings us to 23.
Is that our highest scoring movie so far?
I thought, well, let me see. I
think it might be tied with Miracle.
Yeah, so Miracle got a 24, actually.
Ooh, close.
One of us was a 9?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen. Miracle or Rudy got a 16 because
it isn't good.
Yeah, but Jordan still gave it a 7, so
I know.
We
love him
almost
anyway.
half of it. Yeah.
You are almost half of its score.
Notre Dame homer, right here.
True. Okay. Yeah. So it's on Disney Plus, which is still not a sponsor, but go watch it anyway.
Non-spawn.
Yeah. And if we can't be watching real basketball, we can be watching a bunch of basketball movies.
Yeah.
Next up, Hoosiers. Just kidding.
God, no.
I love Hoosiers so much.
I don't know if I've ever seen Hoosiers.
You haven't seen Hoosiers?
You have to see. You would love this Coach Mick. Like, you would love the coach in Hoosiers.
Well.
Is it on Disney Plus?
I don't know.
I hope so. I don't know.
doubt it.
But either way.
Movie?
So.
It's a good movie. It is.
I love Hoosiers.
That'll be for a future episode.
Different episode, we will review Hoosiers, but if you're dying for basketball, there you go. Okay, we don't have obscure sports because nothing's happening. And we don't, I think, have any listener questions. Because
let me check. I asked Mike for some. Oh,
come on, Mike.
Mike, he's our only...
You're keeping us alive.
Him and possibly Pittsburgh.
Where's Pittsburgh Steve at with the questions?
What's up,
like,
Pittsburgh
hey,
Steve?
why do you guys
have any questions?
Can you guys please stop being so mean to me?
He's too busy being old and playing bocce ball.
I love bocce ball.
Bocce ball's fun, but like we're also old, so
Not as old as Steve. He's like 40.
Oh my god.
ancient. Anyway,
We're
Hey,
all
Steve.
staying at our house. I'm probably later tonight or early tomorrow. I'm gonna Google how to play 2-person cribbage. You all right there, bud?
Oh, my Audacity stopped running.
Shit. This is fine.
how are you having issues?
I don't think this computer has enough storage.
Oh,
I'm going to have to get an external hard drive.
okay. Well, I mean, all
Well,
of us
just send
probably
me
are
whatever
at
it
some
did
point,
record.
but yeah.
Just send me whatever it did record, and I can mash all 3 of them together.
And
Just-
if you
It
want-
saved it.
True.
Like it shut itself off.
Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Fix it in post.
Fix it in post. So, to recap, we don't have a lot to talk about.
But
Glory Road's a good movie.
we still wanted to do an episode because in times like this, it's important to still talk to people, or else you'll go fucking insane.
So
Yeah.
basically, we wanted to talk to each other, and you guys can fucking listen or not.
Pretty
You
much.
3 people can actually hit play if you want. I told my sister about it, so maybe she's
Which
on here.
one?
Not the baby.
Okay, I was like,
I was gonna say I don't want to keep saying "fuck" in front of like a 14-year-old.
She's almost 15. She's gonna be
Oh,
15.
I can say "fuck" in front of a 15-year-old.
I said fucking
Probably,
before,
she's
but like
probably having sex. Let's be honest.
no, she's not. She legitimately is not. We were actually all of us are pretty good kids. Like we're all sister pact. We're all pretty honest with each other. We're all pretty good kids.
cool.
I probably was the worst one, honestly.
I was the worst kid by
The fact that you guys were the worst kids that your parents had,
our children had. It's a
Yes.
paradox.
it's a paradox. But the fact that you two are the worst children that your parents had makes me feel like a piece of shit.
Well, that's our goal.
But I was also the worst child that my parents had. So
Yeah, and what were you doing? Like driving trucks and playing football?
I was sneaking out at 8 because that's when my curfew was.
8 p.m. Yeah,
Yeah, it was still light outside, and I was sneaking out to go hang out with my friends, not to drink, but to throw rocks off bridges.
Please tell me this was Nolan
small
and Liz.
town, South Dakota.
Oh my god, I love those too.
Now we would play hide and go seek at Walmart.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is. The
I have a couple
most
of friends who accidentally
South Dakota thing.
well, they didn't okay, so they went up, you guys know these guys, but they were at Walmart just fucking around as you do in small towns, and they got into the automotive section and somebody had spilled like a whole quart of oil.
Ooh.
And so they were like, well, fuck it. Like it's fun, you know? So they like
Mhm.
skated around in it and just like basically had a slip and slide party.
With
So then
oil,
it was already on the ground.
I wouldn't have gotten that.
I wouldn't have played in the oil.
They're idiots. I love them, but they're dumb. They have children now, both of them.
Oh, I know.
You
Who
know
it is.
these idiots. But yeah, so then when they were playing in the oil, the Walmart employees came back and were like, hey, numbnuts, why did you dump oil on the ground and use it as a slip and slide? And they're like, no, it was already here. We just used it as a slip and slide. And Walmart was,
All over.
Is it?
and
as
Walmart was
bad?
like, you're banned for life. And
Life. Oh,
they were like,
fuck.
you're one of the only Walmart, like every Walmart is 20 to 40 miles apart where I'm from. And they were like, yeah, get out.
Leave.
Did
So
they take their pictures?
yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like we had to go to the other town there were only 2 Walmarts where I was from. We had to go to the other town anytime we all had to go to Walmart.
Well, I mean, at least you were in between the two. The closest Walmart to us was Mitchell, which was 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys are fascinating.
Well, I mean, me and one of my friends got banned from Walmart for 3 weeks. There's a very specific number because we pitched a tent.
Nice.
Like an actual one and not a
Yes.
sexual one.
No, like an actual tent.
They
Well, actually, it was 2 tents.
No,
There
laid
was a
down.
tent between the two.
They laid down in the aisle and we're just like pitching tents. Just trying to get it up.
Wait, Mick, were you playing catch with like mitts and a baseball or
No,
like
like a football.
Yep, that feels right. So you opened and pitched 2 separate tents.
Yeah.
And then welcome to small town Midwest, everybody.
Well, I mean, all you have to do for a tent is just unzip it. You don't have to open any packaging or anything.
Yep.
No, yeah. I mean, they're all in like
Unzip and it all comes
resealable.
out.
Because even
Yeah.
yeah, you were like, you're not breaking a seal on anything.
Yeah.
I can roll with that. All right. Well,
You're very, very bored.
Well,
Same.
yeah, it's a small town in South Dakota and teenagers.
everybody else did the
That
whole like
happens.
you want to just go drive around shit,
Yep.
right? Like where you just
Yep.
drove around and you're like,
We would
Fuck it,
go
blast
up
some
to
music.
a Skyline, and you just drive a Skyline.
yeah, you guys actually had pretty shit to drive. We just drove gravel roads.
Fair enough.
That's not fun. Me and Nolan would occasionally do that and sing to each other, but
Yeah, I mean, you blast some
Cute.
music, you scream. We stared into each other's eyes and we sang,
occasionally.
friends can listen to Endless Love in the Dark.
Ooh, next sports movie.
Happy Gilmore? Yeah,
Yes.
I'm down.
I'm in.
All
I'm
right,
in.
That's
back to
had
the podcast.
2 different sports.
Tune in next time to listen to us
Talk
do
about
more dumb shit.
2 different sports.
And maybe I'll bring back the booby koozie.
Ooh.
Again, famously an audio medium.
Oh, I'm poking the boobies.
There we go.
By boobies, she means her koozie has boobies on it.
They sewed them into the seam,
This
so
is a
there's like a little bump in the
Train
seam.
wreck.
Well, we're literally gonna have to cut out like the last 7 minutes.
Probably.
Oh my god, we've already been talking for an hour.
Yeah.
All right, well, feels like Jordan and I have to go binge Tiger King because that's
Yup.
a thing I promised we would do.
Yes, you did.
It's great. You're gonna like it.
Rawr.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear his country songs. And I'm not excited to see animals being hurt. As always,
They don't show
vaccinate
it.
kids and be
Okay.
nice to animals.
As always. Trash.
Fuck you,
I don't know.
Pittsburgh Steve.
But,
No. We cannot have a sign off on the podcast be fuck you, Pittsburgh Steve.
Why not?
Because I feel bad.
But
Don't
for
feel
now,
bad.
and as usual, go fuck yourself.
Don't
All
feel
right.
bad. Steve understands.
Okay.
Does he?
I don't know.
Steve's a Browns fan. He's suffered worse.
Much, much worse. He's a Browns fan in Pittsburgh.
That's
Right, like,
rough. Yeah.
Homeboy.
Yeah. Homeboy?
I don't know.
And all right, that was Sports Casserole, episode 3.
Episode. I don't know if this one gets published.
It'll get published. It's like
This one might
not
just be
all of
sound
it.
bites.
It'll be much more abridged.
Abridged Sports Casserole.
Welcome to our sneak peek preview episode of
We can call it
Ugh.
Leftovers.
Whoops.
Leftovers is such a good name. That's good.
It's so good.
I love that. Okay, I'm team Leftovers. Yeah.
All right. So that was Sports Casserole this week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Follow us
Bye.
on Twitter,
And Instagram.
Instagram.
At Sports Casserole. Send us your questions.
Ooh, send us
Please.
Ow! I hit my hand.